What is going on, Crimson City? My name is Crimson CBAD, and in today's video, guys, I will be bringing you our Week 6 matchup in the GBA. We are going up against HoodlumScrafty and the Alola Athletic. I'll be sure to link all of Callum's links in the description. Make sure you go check him out. I really love his channel. I love all the stuff he puts on, and he's proven to be a very, very good battler in the league format. He was in, I believe it was the EXPNU a while ago, as well as the MBL. So definitely go check him out, drop him a sub, tell him you're from Crimson City, show him some love. We're looking to bounce back after last week's loss against Tom and the San Jose Sharpedos. We've been doing this win-loss type deal, so hopefully we can walk away with the W today. If you guys have not checked out the team builder, be sure to check it out. I'll have that in the description of this video as well. If you guys are excited, be sure to leave a like on this video. You guys have been absolutely destroying the support on the channel lately, and I am forever grateful for that. In the meantime, I'm going to go on ahead and cut to where we're connected with Callum, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we are back. We're connecting with Callum, selecting the battle teams. I'm really looking forward to this matchup, mainly because Callum's been a friend of mine for a while, and I've never really I've never really known how good of a competitive battler he was until I got to see him perform in the GBA. There were a few matches back in the EXPNU where I was like, oh my god. But I am definitely excited to see what he brings this matchup. Should make for a very nice team. I think our teams have a really good matchup on paper. The plan here is that if we can get rid of Excadrill, or if it's a choice, or if it's a Sand Rush set, kind of do some damage with Cobalion here with Swords Dance sets. One thing that I do want to keep in mind is Nasty Bat or especially offensive T-Tar. Both of those can do a tremendous amount of my team. So without further ado, let's select the participating Pokemon. He is going to be bringing the Crobat. Okay, he actually brought Sableye. Snorlax. Brought the Sandcore. Excadrill. He brought the T-Tar. Tyranitar is his Z-Captain, so we got to be careful for that. He brought the Rotom Wash with the Levitate ability, and then he brought Sableye with what I imagine to be Prankster. So, originally I was going to lead off with Slowbro just to kind of do damage to the Tyranitar with the Culverberry, but I kind of think if I were to lead off here, I think Sableye is a good lead for him. I could lead off with my Sylveon and kind of go from there. No, I don't want to lead. I don't want to lead Sylveon, because if he leads T-Tar, it gets like a huge hit off. I'll lead Slowbro. I will lead Slowbro. If he has Sableye is going to be interesting. Sableye is going to be interesting. So Prankster moves don't go first on Dark types anymore. So that's going to be very interesting to deal with. I'm just going to lead. I'm going to lead Slowbro. It's the play that I had made to go off with coming straight out the gate, because Culverberry will be able to help me deal with the gosh diggity darn Tyranitar, as well as if he decides to go for a knockoff with the Sableye, I can Toxic that thing. He did not bring any of his Clerics, which is good to note. He did not bring, so Toxic stacking from Slowbro will be very, very nicely. Will be very nice. Will do very nicely, I should say. Alright. He leads off with Crobat. Alright. So, he can just U-turn here. If he's special, he can go for a Giga Drain. I'm just going to slack off, see the damage. I've got no reason to overpredict. This is a defensive check. If he brought special Crobat, now would be the time to kind of check it. See what he's got. See what he's got rocking for me. What you got for me, big dog? What you got for me? I can slack out the damage. If anything, he'll U-turn. It'll reveal that I'm not Helmet, but it won't reveal Leftover, so I can just slack off the damage. Put us back into a better matchup against something else. He can always go into Rotom Wash. I've got Sylveon there. I've got Serena that does really nice things to it as well. If he does bring a Choice Scarf Trick Rotom, gotta pay attention to that. Hopefully trick the right Mon. Goes for the U-turn, so I don't think he's Special Bat. One of my threats out of the way. Let's see, that did 165. So he has U-turn on Crobat. I did not see a Life Orb. So let's see. That is not banded damage either. So perhaps he did about 18. So he might be more supportive than anything, because even a Jolly Max attack, U-turn's doing 21.8. And that did 18. So I'm assuming he's a more defensive set. Or he could just have, well, let's see. No, actually. Because if he were to be special bat, I don't want to pencil that out just yet. Because if he has no attack investment, he can still pull that off. Pull that damage off. So I don't want to pencil that out just yet that he's not nasty bat. With like Black Sludge. U-turn could be nice for the switch momentum for him. He's going to go out into Bosch, which is the Rotom Wash, of course. If he's a supportive set, yeah, if he's a supportive Rotom Wash, U-turn's doing the same amount of damage. I could easily eat a Volt Switch. He thinks I'm going to... So he could go for the Will-O-Wisp, not knowing that I want to take a Thunderbolt. I'd like to Toxic this thing, though, so I'm going to go for a Toxic. I can eat a hit. I can eat one hit from this thing. Put this thing on a timer. If he goes for a Will-O-Wisp, I've got Aromatherapy in the back. I just don't want to put myself in a position with Crocodile, and he's faster than me, and not only Will-O-Wisp me, but then Hydro Pumps me. So, best case scenario, this thing eats a Will-O-Wisp. This thing can eat a Volt Switch. I'd imagine he just goes for the Will-O-Wisp. It's a very safe play. Toxicking this Rotom Wash very early on would be nice. Because, like I said, he does not have a Cleric in the back. My hand's getting palmy. My palms are getting palmy. What? Hello? Clammy. There we go. So, I would have to say that Toxicking this Rotom is probably my best play. Goes for the Volt Switch, actually. So, switching out into the Crocodile would have been nice. That's unfortunate. That does a lot of damage. Alright. What wants to take a Scald is the question. What wants to risk a Scald burn? I'm glad to know that that brought me down to what, 93? So that did 54. So I'm glad we get to gauge these. If he's a Choice Specs, Volt Switch is doing... No, he is not a Choice Specs. What if he's like Timid Scarf? He's doing 54%. So he's not max special attack either. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. I'd say he's more of a utility. So I'm gonna pencil Crobat in as like a special. And I'm gonna say Rotom is more defensive. Goes on to Sad Ghost, which is fine by me. Ooh, Issue Song. Alright, Toxic this thing, that's nice. So even though he gets Recover, fine by me. Absolutely fine by me. So he's going to start taking toxic damage. You can probably just go for a knockoff here. He can go for a Will-O-Wisp. I like switching into Serena because the leftovers aren't super necessary on her. I do want to, like, I want to, like, just, like, put my balls on the counter and go on to Cobalion, but I don't want to get Willowed. I'm going to go hard into Sylveon, actually. Sylveon's a good check for this. I'm imagining a Will-O-Wisp or a knockoff. I didn't see leftovers might activate this turn. Goes for Toxic, actually. So Cobalion would have been a phenomenal play. I don't think he'd run Toxic and Will-O-Wisp. His Hyper Voice switch-in is non-existent. Like Excadrill. Alright, so we did see leftovers on the Sableye, which is also good to know. I don't think he wants to take a... Hyper Voice. So I want a Baton Pass to keep the momentum. That's what I'm going to go for. I'm going to Baton Pass. He could go straight into, Excadrill. He could go into Snorlax as well. Snorlax would be nice. For us to go in on. Withdraws. Alright, Baton Pass was the correct play, and he's going to go out into Run Up. Run Up! Do what you must. Alright, so the Snorlax is in. So I'm trying to think to myself, what would be a better play? Can I OHKO this with Tornadus? If he's like Curselax... So I'm curious, can a Snorlax... if he's like a max set, I can 2-hit KO with close combat, which would be nice. I can also go for a Stone Edge, so I don't get the defense drop, or I can go for an Iron Head. I can go for an Iron Head here, predicting he wants to go into Sableye, and then switch back into my Sylveon. Iron Head's going to do 24. I also have a chance to flinch. If he goes into the Sableye, that's fine by me as well. Or I'm sorry, if he goes into the Sableye, that's fine because I switch right back into Sylveon. Set up a Wish, toss up something, Baton Pass on his switch. Iron Head's going to be our best play. We hit this thing, we have a chance to flinch, we put it within range of close combat if he's not max. If he's max, it's doing about 20 to 24. And then close combat with a high roll can pick up the kill. But I don't know why he'd run like a super defensive Slowbro. I feel like he'd be like an AV set. If he goes for Earthquake, that's going to hurt. He could also have Fire Punch. Fire Punch from a max attack Snorlax. Oh, that's not doing too much. All right, even if he's banded, I live it. So I go for an Iron Head, pick up the kill afterwards. Let's drop him back down to careful. Kind of calc for the best defense. Iron Head gets a flinch. Iron Head checks the Sylveon. Okay, there we go. He switches out. Checks the Sableye on the switch in. Perfect. Now, do I want to get Will-O-Wisp? Would he run Toxic and Will-O-Wisp is the thing. He could just very much... I don't want to risk it. Because if he doesn't have Will-O-Wisp, what would he run? Toxic? Would he run Will-O-Wisp? Would he run 2 Will-O-Wisp users? He's got Will-O-Wisp on Rotom. I don't think he'd run it. But I don't want to set up so soon with Crobat still in the back. Iron Head did about 42. I could go for another one on his recover. I've got Aromatherapy. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to go for another Iron Head here if he goes for the recover. I could force him to think that I have Lumberry, even though I've got Aromatherapy in the back on Serena. So Iron Head, I want to keep the pressure up. I want to keep the pressure up on this thing. He could safely go for a recover, like, oh, like the Sylveon's going to come in. That was his switch last time. If he goes for Will-O-Wisp, if he's running Toxic Will-O-Wisp, that just limits his moveset more. I would anticipate Rotom Wash to have that if it's a more defensive variant. However, I don't see this thing running Toxic and Willow. He's got the Rotom. Rotom probably has Willow. Rotom checks like all of my offensive mons. He withdraws actually. Interesting play. Goes out into the Rotom Wash. Okay. So, we can kind of gauge the damage, maybe see an item. There's the leftover. So he's not a Scarf set, which is good to know. So I'm imagining this might be the physically defensive check. Sableye had the leftovers as well. Oh, if I had Volt Switch here, that'd be perfect. He can go for a Volt Switch. He can go for a... Last time he stayed in, he went for a Volt Switch. I don't want to necessarily reveal I have Aromatherapy. Sylveon takes the Volt Switch. Sylveon eats a Will-O-Wisp if he thinks I'm going Crook again. He can also take a Hydro Pump even after the toxic damage. Goes for the Volt Switch. Alright, I gotta start knowing that. He's gonna go for the Volt Switch every time. So unfortunately, I'm gonna take a little bit of toxic damage. But Excadrill is like really the only thing I've got 2 checks for Excadrill in the back right now, so I'm not worried about it. You'd also bring in the Snorlax again. I could just bring in Crocodile. Crocodile intimidates it. I can roar it out if it's a curse set. Knock off whatever item it is. I get a free knockoff on something. The close combat would have been good damage, but I didn't want to take a -1 Volt Switch. I didn't want to take a Volt Switch into my slot. What is it? What does he have? He's got leftovers Volt Switch, like Volt Switch, Pain Split, Hydro, and Willow? Like, it's the only thing I can think of. I do want to get Rocks up, though. Excadrill's probably his spinner. Rocks pressure the Crobat. With as much spinning as going on right now, I kind of want to get Rocks up. Or not spinning, switching, excuse me. With as much switching as going on right now, I do want to get Rocks up. Goes on to Gurren. Oh, here's the Excadrill. Alright, cool, cool, cool. So, easy switch into Intimidate Crook. Could have X-Scissor. Very easy switch. Very easy switch. And then I'm going to go for Rocks. He could carry X-Scissor, but honestly, like... Oh, he withdraws. He doubles out. He doubles out into the Rotom. Good play. Now, can I actually eat from, like, a supportive set? Can I tank a... Let's see. Defensive Pivot. Let's just kind of gauge. So, he'd have to speed creep an uninvested one. Hydro Pump actually does have a chance to kill me. But I can outspeed, go for a knockoff. I can set up Rocks as well. I think he would stay in. I think he might Volt Switch just for the prediction. Do I want to do that? He could very freely Hydro Pump right here. Knock me out. I'm going to go into Serena. I'm going to go into Serena. If he Volt Switches again... Okay, here's the thing. He knows I don't want to stay in and take a Hydro Pump. But does he go for the safe play? He's been very safe with Rotom. Knowing that I have not been able to go for a... knowing that I have not been able to... Or I haven't been switching Crocodile in on the Volt Switch. Maybe he doesn't carry Hydro Pump, which would certainly be interesting enough to me. However, Serena's the play here. I get a slow U-turn off into something. If he goes for a Hydro Pump, I tank that. He's a defensive pivot. Yeah, Hydro Pump. I'm tanking Hydro Pumps. I actually 2-hit KO. Even if he's a defensive set, I pretty much 2-hit KO with this. So we're gonna see me switch out. He could switch out right after me, confirming I'm faster. Hydro Pump. There it is. All right. It's a good thing we did not stay in because he connected it too. So that brings me down to about 78. That did 22%. So he's got a little special attack investment. I would assume something along the lines of like a max. Like 4, maybe 8, maybe a little bit more. I am slower than him naturally, so I can U-turn out. He might not want to take a drop kick because I 2-hit KO. I can slow U-turn into something though, which is nice to have. I don't want to reveal aromatherapy just yet. Sylveon's still pretty healthy. I can pass wishes. Everybody still has their leftovers. We're good. So put me in a good position right now. Withdraws. All right, he does not want to take anything. His actually, he brings in Crobat on this thing, which is nice to know. All right. So I'm going to U-turn out. Crobat. Crobat at -1 is not doing anything to me. I don't know if he'd be Nasty Bat. Let's just check something really quickly here. You didn't see a Life Orb. So here's the deal, is that I can go into Crocodile, get the Intimidate off, get my rocks up as well. If he runs special coverage, he would probably hit me with like a Giga Drain or something, which is a 3-hit KO after my lefties go off. He has Black Sludge. Good to know. Alright. I could knock something's item off. I'm going to go for rocks. I tank a special hit. He's at -1. He can't really do much to me. I think rocks are the play here. Just to get that little bit of chip damage, that way Cobalion can start bringing in some massive hits. Things like Sylveon. Alright, so he's just going to keep U-turning out. U-turn's not going to do too much to me at -1. Perfect, perfect, perfect. What does he switch out into is the question. The Rotom again? Because he also has the thing I'm going for a knockoff. And now after that U-turn damage, Hydro Pump from Rotom definitely kills. So I'm curious. Rotom would have been nice to get the leftovers off of. However, I'm not... I don't think he'd bring in anything else. I don't think it'd bring in anything else. We'll see, though. I'm really curious. I like thinking to myself a lot during these battles, but then when I do a live comm match, I try to convey as much of my thought process as I can. Because I want to see where his mind's at during this battle. Goes out into Bangarang. Bangarang! Alright, so he does have the Sandstream. Of course. So I'm going to get my rocks up. How much is EQ doing to this thing, I wonder? Tyranitar. If he's running special coverage... Oh, yikes. Actually. So let's see this. If he's running a Bandit set, Superpower has a chance to kill me. You can also DD right here. I can very safely go... Earthquake is doing... If he's like a not-defensive set, Earthquake is doing a tremendous amount of damage. I'm going to go for the EQ. I don't want him to be able to set Sand. He knows I could also have Superpower, like, lying in the back, which would destroy him if he's a more offensive set. I don't know why he'd bring this thing in on me, though. That's my only concern. Because you might not have Superpower. He might predict me to switch, double out into something else. If he doubles out into something like Rotom right now, that's a play to make. However, I don't know if he's Smooth Rock. I don't know if he brought a Z move. I'm curious. He could be running special. Go for Ice Beam. He actually withdraws. So he sets the Sand, goes out into his Crobat again. Okay. So Crobat's going to take rocks damage. Oh, knockoff would have been so clean here. Alright, so he's going to get buffeted by the Sandstorm. He's got rocks. What does he do now? I think I click knockoff here. I'm still going to get my leftovers recovery, even if he's not at -1. We've seen he's not banded. So U-turn's doing about 30%. That's not even going to do that much. I'm going for knockoff. He could defog the rocks away. There's the defog. Alright. So I can knock off his Black Sludge, do a tremendous amount to him. We know his Crobat is his defogger now. Definitely a more supportive set. It's going to bring him down under half. He's probably going to want to U-turn out now. I can just set on my rocks again. Because he... Would he roost right here? I'm just going to set up rocks again. He can't touch me. It's definitely a utility Crobat. I'm going to put rocks right back up where they belong. Watch him defog and then go into Focus Blast T-Tar. Blows my mind. So, yeah, U-turn's not going to do much to me. Even Brave Bird is doing 40%, but we've already confirmed that he's not max attack based off the damage it did to Crobat. Or, I'm sorry, to Slowbro. So I'm assuming he's like a max HP, max speed utility mon. U-turn, defog. Maybe Brave Bird and Roost. If he goes for Roost here, that would be perfect. But I'm going to set my rocks up again. I'm going to prioritize this because Crobat can't come in again. Crobat can come in one more time. There we go. All right. So Earthquake would have been a nice play to make here. We see that that brings me down to 155. Did 77. So that did about 23. So yeah, he is not. He's not invested that much. I'm going for my Stealth Rocks here. Get him back up. Now, do I bank on the Hydro Miss and go for a knockoff is the thing? That's my question. Because the Rotomosh will kill me if it's a utility set. And I don't know if I want to play that. I could just go into Serena. Tank the Volt Switch. Tank the Hydro Pump. Trop Kick. Do something else. I do want to Aromatherapy up my... I do want to go for an Aromatherapy just so I can get the Toxic off of Sylveon. But it's nice knowing that Crobat is a much more utility set. He still brought in, or he still hasn't revealed the Snorlax set. If it's Curselax, we've got Roar Crook in the back. We can intimidate it. We can Toxic it with a Slowbro. If he's Rest Curse, oh yeah. But we still, if he's Rest Curse, like Body Slam something, it actually is kind of a viable set. No, not really. We do have the Cobalion. However. Alright, so he's going to see me switch out here. So if he switches, I'm faster. If he stays in, goes for the Hydro. Is he going for the Volt Switch? Goes for the Volt Switch. Ooh, staying in would have been a great play. So we're going to eat that. That brings Serena down to 127. Crobat could come out right now. However, he would need to, like, Roost immediately. Which kind of makes me want to not... If he brings out the Crobat right now, that's very interesting. Because he could kill me, but he'd sack the Crobat. Which means Rock stay on my side of the field unless he brought Rapid Spin on Excadrill. I'm just gonna wait and see. Crobat comes out, it kills me with the recoil. I don't even think. Let's check. Crobat support. Brave Bird actually doesn't even kill Serena. If I'm the minimum, very little attack that it has, Brave Bird actually does not even kill Serena. So if he were to come in and go for it, he could just come in and U-turn out. And then I get a slow U-turn off on something. Goes out into Fat Bat. Alright. So he's probably going to defog. Ooh. Dropkick's doing a fat 8%. Ooh, Sand might actually take him down. Wait. Ooh, Crobat dies to Sand. Okay. Rocks are here to stay unless dies to Sand. So Rocks are here to stay unless he has Rapid Spin on Excadrill. And I'm still at 127. Sand's doing 6. My leftovers are bringing back 6. What does he bring in on this thing now? Because Crobat's gone. So we could... If he's got Ice Beam on T-Tar, I mean, good information to know. This has to be Smooth Plate. I haven't even been checking the things. This has to be Smooth Plate. The sand has been up for ages. Literally eons. Could bring an extra drill for like a quick revenge kill. Sableye could try to Toxic me or something. And then I can Baton Pass, go U-turn into Sylveon, Baton Pass out into something else. I could maybe set up a Calm Mind and Baton Pass out. That would be nice, but I'd like to get the Aromatherapy off. Goes out into Sad Ghost. Okay. So I'm thinking he wants to Toxic this thing. I'm gonna go for Aromatherapy. If he Willow, it goes for the Recover actually. Okay. So we've seen Toxic, we've seen Recover. I'm gonna Aromatherapy off the chance that I get for Sylveon's Toxic. He's gonna take Leftovers, Toxic, and Sandstorm. I can Trop Kick. I can very easily Trop Kick. What's his Trop Kick switch in now that Crobat's gone? Because then his knockoff won't even do anything after that. I'll go for it. I'll go for Trop Kick. If he goes for a knockoff, that's not going to do anything. I mean, what else would he have? Trop Kick's the play. If he switches out into Rotom, if he goes into something, he can stay in and Toxic me. But I still have Aromatherapy to just kind of sit on it. And I can also Wish Pass from Sylveon. As long as I don't bring Sylveon in against this Sableye, I'm good. I can also just Hyper Voice against the Sableye, really. But Trop Kick's the play. He brings in Rotom Wash, 2-hit KO, gets 2-hit KO'd. This thing stays in and goes for a Toxic. Queenly Majesty, baby, shutting down that Prankster. There it is. Go for the Trop Kick. Alright. It's going to bring him down to -1. Knockoff is not doing anything right now. I can stay in and just keep clicking Trop Kick. Between Toxic and Sandstorm damage, he can knock off my lefties, but Serena's doing what it needs to do right now. It's shutting down Prankster Sableye. So he can stand and go for Recover. He's stalling out his own Sand. And he's letting Toxic damage rack up. Alright. So we saw Trop Kick. I'm winning this battle right now. He can't Toxic me. I keep Trop Kicking. He won't be able to attack me. I mean, like, Foul Play. So now I'm in a winning battle. Because Leftovers Recovery are going to ally me. The Toxic Poison is going to rack up on him tremendously. I just need to predict when he's going to go for the ult, or when he's going to switch out. But I don't even think I need to switch out is the thing. I just kind of keep clicking Trop Kick, getting Leftovers Recovery. That's all I need to do. Snorlax doesn't want to start getting its attack lowered. Excadrill doesn't want to get its attack lowered. T-Tar doesn't want to. Goes on to Run Up. Alright. Slowbro's going to take rock, or I'm sorry, Snorlax is going to take rocks. Trop Kick is doing a amount. I very freely switch into Crocodile right now. Because I think he would bring this thing in on me if he was like a setup mon. Watch him double into Rotom Wash. I don't see Leftovers. Snorlax's ability, Gluttony, Thick Fat, and Immunity. Would he run Thick Fat? Maybe like a Thick Fat AV? But Crocodile's going to get the Intimidate drop. And then I'm clicking Knockoff. I'm not clicking Earthquake. Rocks are up to stay. I'm clicking Knockoff. Unless he starts setting up, then I click Roar. But until then, I stay in. Alright, so I'm faster naturally. Get the Intimidate drop. So -1. Superpower's not going to do too much to me. He withdraws, actually. Alright, goes on to Rotom. Sad Ghost. Alright, cool. So, I click Knockoff right here. Or do I click EQ? How much is that doing? Because I can get Toxic. If he has Will-O-Wisp, good stuff, mate. Good stuff. Sableye. Earthquake's doing 60%. Knockoff's doing 59. I'm gonna go for Knockoff. If he's got Will-O-Wisp and Toxic on this thing, but I don't think he's got it. I think he's gonna want to go for Recover to keep this thing around. I'm gonna get rid of its leftovers. There it is. Alright. So no more leftovers for you. And I can just kind of start phasing, really. Yep, Knockoff brings him down. Toxic damage is going to rack up. I can keep clicking Knockoff. If he has no item, Knockoff is... Nope, I'm sorry. Knockoff's doing 40% still. So, I can just keep clicking Knockoff here until something wants to switch in, or he sacks this. He actually does carry Will-O-Wisp, but Prankster doesn't work on Dark types. That's right. Alright, Sableye dies to Crook. Knockoff. Crook is still very healthy. He brings in Rotom at this point, I feel like. Crowrat's gone. We're chipping away his walls. Until Cobalion kind of comes in and starts kicking close combat a bunch. I like having the Intimidate around. I still don't know if he's Sandrush Drill. I still don't know what type of drill he is, so I want to keep that Sand Core as checked as possible. Slowbro's still in the back. Tornadus hasn't hit the field. Goes out into Bosch. Now, he knows I don't want to take a Hydro Pump. I do have a chance of lowering a Hydro Pump from full. I'm going to go for Knockoff here. I'm going to play aggressively. I'm going to get these things leftovers recovery out of here. Get a huge chunk of damage off. Go for the Volt Switch. Hydro Pump. Miss it. Miss it. Miss. Alright. Live it. Live it. Live it. Crook. Live it. Crook. Live it. Crook. We're at full. Oh, well, okay. That was the play I made. I wanted that out of there. It was a crit, too. Okay, so. Crocodile dies to Rotom. Wash. Hydro Pump. Okay, so at what point do I start clicking close combat with Cobalion? Rotom Wash, defensive pivot. Close combat is 42% if he's max defense. Sylveon also, instead of a Calm Mind. I can go into Serena here, get the slow U-turn out. Put myself in a better position. Because he naturally outspeeds me. So I'll go for a U-turn. He Volt Switches out, that's fine. Could go out in a T-Tar. But Cobalion comes in right then and there and starts clicking close combat. If he's Sandrush Life Orb, I've got... Alright, perfect, perfect, perfect. I can totally go into Cobalion. Chip damage on this thing, he's less than half. Alright, I can go into Cobalion, I can kind of fear this thing out, go for his Swords Dance. I've got the Sugar Berry, so I take an Earthquake. Yeah, I'm going to go for Swords Dance here. I feel like he'd switch out into Rotom. If not, there's nothing he can really do to me. Curse? That puts me at +2, though. And even at +1 defense, I mean, maybe with a Choppleberry he lives this? But I don't even think so. I think right here is where I go for Swords Dance on his Rotom Wash switch, and I start clicking EQ. Withdraws. There we go. Perfect. Alright. We're down to Bangarang. Alright, so now the question is, my Cobalion is at +2. His his Tyranitar. Let's just take a 252, 252 Impish set. Close combat still kills every day of the week. What if he has Chopple? If he got Chopple, close combat's killing. Alright, Tyranitar goes down. Dies to close combat from Koba. Alright, so now the question is, Excadrill, Sand Rush. He's a Life Orb set, and I'm -1 defense. Ooh, Earthquake actually has a chance to kill. What if he's Adamant Life Orb? 18.8% chance to OHKO. I don't like... Alright. So, I've got Slowbro in the back. I can pull off a Cobalion sweep right now. But I have to live. If he's Jolly. If he's Jolly, he does not. If he's Jolly, if he's Adamant Life Orb... Oh! I'm clicking Close Combat. I've got the chance to go for it. He goes for a Swords Dance, actually. Alright, goodbye, Excadrill. Alright, Excadrill is down. Dies to Koba, Close Combat. I believe this is GG's at this point. Rotom Wash comes out, it dies to Cobalion. And then... Yep. You do not take a +2 Close Combat. Dies to Koba, Close Combat. And then Snorlax comes in. And that is... game. That'll be game. 5-0. Alright. So, yeah, there it is. Alright. Let's finish this up. Seal the deal up. Close combat one more time. And that is going to be GG to HoodlumScrafty and the Alola Athletic. This was a 5-0 victory. This puts us 3-3 with a +11 differential now. So, doing good. Definitely bounced back against Tom. Like I said, Callum's link will be in the description below. Go check him out for sure. Like I said, he's been doing really good in the GBA so far. Go check out his previous matches. I love the guy. The roulette free-for-alls he does are awesome. I seriously like the guy. He's a funny guy. I love the guy. He's a really nice guy. Go check him out. All that being said, that is going to be it for me today, guys. Next week, I believe we are battling John and the New Orleans Pelipers. So if you guys are excited, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribing so you do not miss out on more GBA content. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I do want to remind you to be great and do great. I'm going to let this outro bang. I'm going to talk to you guys soon. Later.